First story. Evelyn Rose was a self-taught urban explorer who made a modest living from her YouTube channel dedicated to forgotten places, sanitariums, old railways, abandoned churches. When a fan messaged her about the Rosewood Hotel, a decrepit estate once known for its lavish weddings and violent past, she knew it was her next big find. The hotel stood 3 miles off a forgotten road, hidden by overgrown trees. Its broken neon sign buzzed weakly, half buried in ivy. Despite being condemned, Evelyn found a way in through a shattered ballroom window. Inside, time had frozen. Chandeliers hung like broken teeth, and velvet curtains rotted in their folds. Dust coated everything, and silence ruled. She explored floor by floor until she reached room 714, the bridal suite. Local legends said a bride, Clarissa Bell, checked in on her wedding night and was never seen again. Her groom, a wealthy heir, was found drowned in the lake behind the hotel. Some said Clarissa jumped. Others said she never left the room. Evelyn's camera was rolling as she pushed the door open. The air was noticeably colder. Everything in 714 was untouched. A decaying wedding dress hung in the wardrobe. A cracked mirror faced the bed. The vanity was covered in yellowed photographs. Clarissa, smiling, hair pinned in elegant curls. She spoke into her mic. "If anyone's here, if Clarissa can hear me, I just want to talk." Suddenly, the room's door slammed shut behind her. Her breath caught. The temperature dropped drastically. She turned to the mirror and gasped. In its reflection, a woman in a wedding gown stood at the corner of the room. But when Evelyn turned physically, nothing was there. She backed toward the door and tried the knob. Locked. Then, the music box. It started to play. The delicate chimes echoed with a haunting lullaby. Evelyn's flashlight flickered, and her camera cut to static for 3 seconds. When the feed returned, the bed was made, and Clarissa's veil was now lying across the pillow. Whispers began, not from any direction. All around it, he left me. They lied. Stay. With me. Evelyn, trembling, stepped toward the bed to inspect the veil. Her fingers brushed the fabric. It was cold and damp. Beneath it was an envelope. Inside, a note scrawled in red ink. "I never left." Suddenly, the closet door creaked open. Inside, Evelyn found something that stopped her breath. A dried bouquet, and a skeleton in a wedding gown, seated upright in a rocking chair. The jaw was twisted as if mid-scream. The bouquet was rotted roses, their petals black. Behind her, a voice whispered directly into her ear. "You found me. Now stay." The door unlocked itself with a click. Evelyn bolted. Outside the room, she turned for one last glance. Room 714's door had vanished. In its place, a smooth stretch of wallpaper, as if it had never existed. When she watched her footage later, room 714 wasn't on any of the tapes. Her GPS logs showed her going from room 713 to 715. 714 didn't exist on paper. And yet, the note still sat in her bag. "I never left." Second story. Victor Harris didn't believe in the supernatural. As a traveling salesman for a pharmaceutical firm, he had checked into more motels than he could count. He lived by a code: pay in cash, check out early, never ask about stains. That rainy October night, he saw a flickering sign, Crestway Inn, an old colonial-style motel with 8 rooms and a sagging roof. But it was late and his eyes stung from driving. Inside the office, an old man sat behind the counter, unmoving. Victor cleared his throat. "Hey, need a room, just one night." The old man slid a brass key across the counter marked room 216, saying only, "Don't let her in." Victor blinked. "Excuse me?" The clerk didn't answer. Brushing it off as nonsense, Victor made his way down the narrow corridor. The wallpaper was floral but stained, and the air smelled like old wood and something faintly sweet, almost rotten. The room was standard: 2 lamps, a CRT TV, dusty curtains, But as he unpacked, the lights flickered and the TV switched on, showing a live feed of the hallway. Empty. That was odd. He tried to change the channel. It didn't work. He settled in, but at midnight sharp, he awoke to the sound of someone breathing, slow, raspy, right next to him. He turned and found no one. The TV was on again, showing the hallway. A woman in a white gown stood at the far end facing the wall. The camera flickered. Then she was closer. Then closer again. Then gone. Victor leaped up, unlocked the door, and opened it. No one there, but on the floor was a small, wet footprint. Child-sized. Bare. The hallway lights flickered and buzzed. A door slammed down the corridor. Victor stepped out, looking around. That's when he saw the mirror at the end of the hall. It hadn't been there before. In its reflection, behind him, stood the woman. He turned. Empty hall. Back at his room, he found the door ajar. Inside was a child's voice whispering, "She comes when the lights go out." And then, pitch black. Victor screamed, clawed for his phone, turned on the flashlight. The beam landed on the dresser mirror. In the reflection, his bed was no longer empty. She lay there, eyes open, staring at him. He stumbled backward and found himself in the motel office. The old man was gone. On the desk, a guest book. Victor flipped through the pages. Every entry was for room 216. Each guest had checked in. None had checked out. The last name on the list, Victor Harris, check in, October 17th. Check out, pending. Third story. Marisol Garcia was grateful for the job. The Meridian Hotel was historic, high-end, and paid well. She had taken the graveyard shift as a night auditor to fund her film school dreams. The hotel had a kind of faded elegance. Red carpeting, marble pillars, and a grand ballroom that hadn't seen a wedding since the 80s. Guests would sometimes report weird things. Laughter in the halls, knocks on empty doors, lights flickering in patterns. Her manager Tony once joked, "If room 313 ever lights up, don't go up there. We keep it closed for a reason." Marisol thought he was messing with her. Until her third night. At exactly 2:13 a.m., a call came through. No number on the screen. She answered. "Front desk, this is Marisol." Silence. Then a child's voice, barely audible. "Can you bring me a blanket? It's so cold in room 313. She paused. That room was unlisted in the current occupancy file. She checked again. No guest had been placed there in over a year. Curious, she took her master key and headed to the third floor. The hallway was silent. All lights were dimmed, except one. A lone ceiling lamp flickered outside room 3113. She knocked. No response. She pushed the door open. The room was pristine, beds made. Window curtains fluttered though the glass was shut. She stepped inside and the door slammed behind her. Suddenly, she wasn't in a normal hotel room. The space stretched unnaturally, like a distorted mirror reflection. The TV turned on by itself, playing a looping video of the hallway, only now it showed her, standing motionless outside the door. Footsteps echoed. She turned and saw a little girl sitting on the bed, hair covering her face. "I waited for my mom," she said. "She never came back." The girl raised her head. Her eyes were completely white. Marisol backed away. The walls began to whisper. Dozens of voices. "Stay, stay, stay, stay." She ran to the door. It was gone. Just a blank wall. She turned to plead with the girl, but the child was dissolving into smoke. The TV now showed a live feed of the hotel lobby, empty. Her voice whispered from it, "I'm still here." Epilogue. Marisol's disappearance was never solved. Room 313 is now locked with chains. Staff refused to talk about it. But at 2:13 a.m. each night, the phone at the front desk rings once. And whoever answers sometimes doesn't return. Subscribe to Ebb and Wake so you never miss a new horror story. We release spine-chilling videos almost every day.